Wade in the water.
News Talk 640 WFNC. I tell you what, on screen right now, if you're watching us on our Facebook page, well, actually, we're having a problem with the Facebook feed for some reason right now, Kenny. But we are up on our YouTube page, and you're able to see a picture of Ruby Burton Bullock, and she's on the telephone right now. Ruby, are you there with me?
Yes, I am, Gilbert.
Well, it's so good to talk with you right now. Ruby is a 100-year-old family matriarch for the Burton Bullock family, and she's my homegirl from Philadelphia. How is the temperature up there in Philly right now?
Oh, say that again, Gilbert.
Yeah, how's the weather up there in Philadelphia right now?
You know what? It's kind of foggy, and I don't think it's raining, Gilbert, but it is foggy.
Now, are you on the speakerphone right now?
Yes, I am.
Is it possible to?
Can you hear me?
Well, is that the best way for you to hear me, on the speaker as opposed to on the phone?
He said this is the best way.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a little echoey, but that's okay. Is that Vanessa that's with you?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Vanessa, how you doing?
Hey, Gilbert, how are you?
I'm doing well. Sounds fine, Kenny.
If they can switch, whatever works. But if they can switch to,
You know what? I could take it off speaker.
Yeah, take it off
if
speaker and let's see how it sounds.
Let's do that.
Yes, let's see how that sounds. We'll put it back on speaker if it doesn't sound good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm off speaker.
Yeah, and just hold it real close to your mouth. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Oh, yeah, you sound much better now. Yes, indeed.
Oh,
Sound much
great.
better. And you know, we were up there talking with you. You turned 100 years old last year. When's your birthday?
July 25th,
July 25th.
1925.
And you're getting ready to turn 101, and you had a big family reunion up there. And Doris and I couldn't make it up for that, but you had a pretty good gathering up there, didn't you?
It was. It was quite a large gathering of, the family and friends.
And then I guess it was just last week, and I'm going to put up this big family. Remember that picture I took last week of the whole family?
Of course I do, and it was a nice gathering.
Well, that picture is up on our screen right now, and the reason I wanted to have this conversation with you is because every time we talk, it is amazing the knowledge that you bring to all the family members who are up on that screen right there. We happen to have You had a little gathering. You were down here back home from Philadelphia, up in Fuquay Varina, and
Yes.
the word got out that you were up there, and all of these folks in this picture came out to see you and hug you. And I'm going to flip through as we talk a little bit. Tell me your thoughts about getting together up there just a week or so ago.
Gilbert, it was really a pleasure, and my nieces and nephews and the family and some friends came in, and of course Mayor Harris and I were funeral director Carl Trice were there, and the mayor's wife. And, Gilbert, it could not have been more beautiful, having just beautiful people in. And I will have to say, each and every person, it just meant so much to me.
Well, you know what? When we were in there, I didn't know that the mayor from Fuquay, who's recently elected, was there in the house. And I have a picture of the mayor and his wife, along with you. That picture that we took right there in the family room.
Yes.
And this was Gwen's house that she's kind of renovated. I want to make sure I bring a picture of Gwen up here. I don't know if I had to wipe some of my computer out here. I had a picture of both her and her granddaughter, and
Yes.
I'll try and bring that up. But I'm gonna put you back up on the screen here. You've lived for 100 years, and you were born down here in Fuquay, Tell us about living here and what that was like for you while you were a child.
You know, Gilbert, it was, really had a wonderful upbringing of, of the school age, and even before then, I tell you what, it was just really, and excuse me for not getting it all out, but it was just really a nice upbringing and beautiful neighbors up where I lived and in the Fuquay area, and with the schooling. We might not have had everything, but we certainly, enjoyed, and with the older people, guiding us and our parents. It was, I tell you, Gilbert, it was a nice, I have no qualms about, our early years there.
Well, I'm going to pull up a picture right now of you and some of the grandkids that came out. Your thoughts? Are these great grandkids or grandchildren? How many?
Gilbert, they are grands, great grands, and nieces, and great great nieces. And I don't know, seem like the younger people are just keeping the tradition up, and even thinking of you coming down. Our town was well enough. You must have seen something that you wanted to come down to our town of Fuquay.
Well, what I saw was all that food y'all had out there on the table. I got a picture. I got a picture of the food that was spread out. It was a potluck, and of course, do you remember what I made?
Yes.
I made my world famous chicken casserole.
Gilbert, it was so much food. You are right, and I enjoyed that chicken casserole. It was delicious, and everyone brought something, and each dish was just, and Gwen made the chili, and she had just lost her, her husband, but it was just a beautiful gathering.
Well, I have a picture of Gwen and her granddaughter. They were in the kitchen nonstop. This was Gwen's house that we had the gathering at. Tell us about her and how much you love her.
You know what? I love Gwen. Gwen was born there along with the other, nieces and nephews, but she went when she finished school, she got married, and they lived in Atlanta. But she came back because, our home house, had gotten old and it was burned. But Gwen and her husband, Seal, came back and just fixed up their father and mother's house. And
did we lose her?
Yeah, I'm going to get her back. Just stand by because I love that story.
Yeah, we're going to get her back, and this happens when we have phone call. If you're just tuning in right now, it's 7:46, and we're talking with Aunt Ruby Burton Bullock, and she is the matriarch of the family for the Burton family, and 100 years old. I married into the family and went up last week to just have a nice family reunion with them or take part of it. It's just a little get-together. It turned into a mini family reunion. But whenever you get a chance to be around someone who is 100 years old, there is an awful lot of knowledge that is exchanged with that individual. And so I was just really taken away, blown away by the conversations that we were having as we just made our way around the room and talked with all the folks who had come in to see her and talk with her. It was just a great conversation. And I was asking her She actually lives in Philadelphia, so that's the other connection for me. That's my Philadelphia connection. She had a gathering up in Philly.
That's okay, Ruby. We've got you back,
okay.
so I'm going to put you on hold. Hold on.
All right. It seems like Kenny says we got her. Yeah. Okay. So for some reason, the phone call dropped off. Aunt Ruby, you're back on the air now.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
So and you still sounded good. You were telling us that story, about having everyone together and being at that particular home and everything. You can continue that if you like. It's just a fantastic gathering that you had.
Yeah, and I hope I'm explaining it where it can be, because the way, I feel these 100 years, they couldn't be, it just couldn't be better. I'm grateful to you, Gilbert, for your thoughtfulness in thinking of, this.
Well, you're in Philadelphia, and when you were here last time, I said, Aunt Ruby, what's your favorite team in football team?
Of course, the Philadelphia Eagles.
No, you're kidding me.
No.
Well, you must have been excited when they won the Super Bowl. Well, not this year, but...
Yeah, very, very. And their wins, we are happy. And even in their losses, it's the Philadelphia Eagles for us.
Well, I want
I know you can relate to being from Philadelphia. You can relate to the Eagles, I'm sure.
Well, you and I talked about it last week when we were down here. We were fans when Philly wasn't a winner, and that's the sign of a true fan.
That's right.
But I have to admit that while being down here all these years, because I was stationed at Bragg in '78, so I've been here more than 40 some odd years, and when North Carolina, the Charlotte Hornets came on, what do they call it? Charlotte Hornets? No, that's the basketball team.
Yes, sir, the basketball team with Muggsy Bogues, Charlotte Hornets.
The football team is the Charlotte.
Oh, the Panthers.
The Panthers, yeah. When the Panthers came on, I was dual fan. I was a dual fan. I was a Panther fan and Eagles fan as well. You can do that. That's allowed to do that.
That's right. Right. And I remember that game because I think the Panthers won at the Panthers won that game, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that. How you remember that? I can't even remember. How old are you?
You know what? And the Eagles play. I think I remember that game.
Well, look, tell me this. And I told folks when I was put out the little promo that you were going to come on the air. If you just joined me right now at 7:50, I've got my aunt Ruby Burton Bullock, who's on the air here. I married into the family, and they just accepted me like I was that I was born in the family, and that's really neat. And I've had an opportunity.
Of the best.
Well, I had a couple of opportunities to be at Burton gatherings, and they have just been a lot of fun. Just talking with folks, and I'm going to bring the picture of the mayor back up on the screen with you, because did you know that the mayor from Fuquay was going to come out and be there at this gathering?
I had no idea when he and his wife, and it was the first time I'd met her, and I was just overwhelmed.
Well, you knew the mayor's parents or grandparents, or grew up with them?
I was in school with his parents, and but the grandparents, my parents, and his parents. Mr. and Mrs. Moore and Mr. and Mrs. Harris. I'm talking about both, sets of parents. They were wonderful people. I didn't know William at that time because he wasn't born. But
now he's the mayor. Isn't that something?
That, oh gosh,
well, look,
it's just beautiful.
Well, we're getting ready to run out a little bit of time here, but it's just such a pleasure talking with you. And so now you were here in North Carolina, and I remember you told my wife, Doris, when you left, something about the tobacco plant, you were patting them, saying goodbye or something like that when you knew you were moving?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? You are right. And Doris, I didn't hear what you said, but Doris' parents, the Streets, we lived in the Rawls area. And Doris' parents and grandparents, Mr. and Mrs. Robinson and Mr. and Mrs. Street, they were wonderful neighbors. The Allen, it was so many of us, of the black parents that lived up in the Rawls area. Gilbert, I didn't hear what you had said.
Well, let me
hearing is not as well, but it was just a beautiful upbringing.
Well, let me just leave with this now. Vanessa's there with you, and I'm going to bring a picture of Vanessa up on the screen as well. Looks like she's eating something and having a good time. But that's what relationship is Vanessa to you?
Vanessa is my daughter, and I was talking to another friend of mine yesterday who she's 101, will be on Saturday. She loves Vanessa as much as I do. Vanessa and her husband, Alan. Gilbert, I couldn't ask for a better life at whatever age, being with them. And,
Well, here's the thing. You're in Philadelphia right now.
God has blessed me, and I'm so thankful.
You're living in Philly, and you're in a multi-level house, I believe. First floor, second floor, third floor?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Vanessa and her husband, everybody just takes care of you. And the amazing thing is you just get out and go. You got in the car and drove all the way down here to North Carolina like it was nobody's business. And
but I didn't drive, but I rode.
Yeah, but you know what, Aunt Ruby, you know how many people who are 100 years old that don't want to even get in the car and ride anywhere? So it is a blessing to have you and to be a part of the family. And thank you for welcoming me in with open arms. I really appreciate that. And whenever I get a chance to talk to someone who's 100 years old, the last thing I want to ask you before you go, what do you have to do in order to live to be 100?
Gilbert, I don't have any plans. I didn't have any, but just living each day at a time, and with lovely people, and not worrying about, and just trying to live the best life that I could. That's the only remedy that I know of. And Gilbert, having you in the family, people like you makes life, so wonderful.
Well, when I talked to you, and we're getting ready to get off the air here, I asked you, had you ever been on the radio? And you said no. Well, now you have.
Never.
Now you have. Now you have.
And you know what? And to go out with having been on the radio is one of the things that I have enjoyed this, Gilbert, and thank you so much for letting me be on the radio and talking to you.
All right, well, look,
and the other gentleman.
That's Kenny Hitman McLean, and I tell you what, Aunt Ruby, I'm going to make sure everybody in the family gets a link to this because it didn't show up on the Facebook page. I'm having a problem with it, but it did show up on the YouTube channel. So I'll make sure that I post it on Facebook, and I'll also make sure that you personally would get a clip so you can listen to yourself and see some of the pictures that we put up as we were having a conversation with you. Thank you. We love you. And have yourself a great day, okay?
Thank you, Gilbert. I appreciate this.
All right. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got a local... No, let's go ahead and just tell you. It's 6:56. National news is going to be coming in a little bit.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes